morning to all of you out there. Delighted to see you here, and thank you so very much for taking your time off your busy schedule to join us on this formal Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl kickoff press conference. I would ask you at this time, please, would you mute all your cell phones? It's important. The way we operate this kickoff press conference is that all the questions will be asked from the floor up to the dais. The coaches and the players will answer all your questions up here. There'll be no one-on-ones at the conclusion of this press conference, okay? As you can see, we have the visiting team, the Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
That's
I mean, really. This is the meeting.
Yeah.
Entertainment cap.
They're going to ask you all the questions now. Sun Devils are our visiting team in this, the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl, and the home team, actually from the Pac-12 and from the Mountain West Conference, the Fresno State Bulldogs. So we're going to get things started the way we work here. This gentleman, of course, as you can see, he's very comfortable here. He's no stranger to this bowl. In fact, just a couple of years ago, we were thoroughly thrilled and honored to have him as our featured speaker. So at this time, I'd like to welcome you, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, Coach Herm Edwards.
Well, you're nice to say that, and obviously I was excited about participating in the bowl as a guest speaker. Trent Dilfer is doing it this year. He's a Fresno Bulldog. He is one of my best friends. Trent Dilfer played for us in Tampa Bay, so I can't wait to see what he says today at the luncheon. With that being said, I think our team is really excited about being a part of the bowl festivities this year. We're playing a very, very talented football team, coached by one of the better college coaches in football. I met Coach, I don't know, Coach what, 8, 9 years ago probably, or something like that? 10 years ago maybe?
Probably longer than that. Time flies. We're getting old.
We just put it together, Coach. We just put it together. Obviously, I went to Cal when I first came out of high school, and Coach was at the University of California, Berkeley coaching. Did a great job up there. Has done a really terrific job at Fresno State. Really has turned that program around. One of the better college football teams in the country. They're ranked 21st for a reason. They play complementary football, really good on defense, stingy on defense, good tacklers, don't give up a lot of points. Situation football is excellent for them on the defensive side of it. Third downs and in the red zone, not allowing you to score. Have very explosive offense. Have a gifted quarterback that can make plays with his legs as well as his arms. So they're very explosive, very well coached football team. As I said, when you win 11 games, that says something about who you are and what you've done and what you've accomplished. So we're excited about playing. I think both parties probably after this point have been practicing and waiting for a football game, and we finally get to kick it off tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. Any questions for Coach Edwards?
This is the easy group.
Herm, Brad Sesmat, Sports 360 AZ from Phoenix. I'm just curious, you being back in the bowl scene and on a sideline, what's this week been like for you taking this all in for the first time?
Well, I think it's a culmination of your season, and you've had some type of success. This is the first time that our whole team has actually traveled. That's new for us because generally on the road we travel 70. Now our whole team got to participate. You get some extra practices in, which I think are good. But I think that how do we handle when you go to a bowl? I think these guys have been fortunate. Some of the seniors, they've gone to numerous bowls. So that helps you when you have a group of guys that participate because they can get away from it. As far as the idle time they have between the practice and what they do, and then it can really get away from you in Las Vegas, right? So, but I think the seniors help you, and I think the code of conduct, both these universities are representing their universities in Las Vegas, and I think coaches, as well as I feel, it's about the game of football and how you go about it. When you come into a city, you represent that university's name. You represent the football program. And you want to do things right. You can have fun, but you can't go over the line. And I think both teams have done an excellent job of that this week. Yes, sir.
Coach Christopher Gabriel from 940 ESPN in Fresno. You said in your introductory presser in Tempe that you don't forget how to coach. You also said you had one more hit left in you.
I have a hit left.
Yes, indeed.
You don't want to, do you?
No, not today, not today.
All right, just checking.
What was the greatest challenge for you, sir? Was it coaching a group of young men who hadn't coached for a while, or was it winning over the Arizona State family?
It was building trust amongst your coaching staff and your players. That's what coaching is about. It's about trust. And how do you do that? You know, when you become a head coach, it's a job of service. You actually serve them, they don't serve you. That has always been my way of going about doing things. And so, with that being said, you know, players like anyone else and coaches want consistency. They want to know how are you going to be not after the press conference, but after your first loss or after your first win. All those things, they want consistency. They want to see how you function. You got to earn that. And it's done by your words and your actions. They got to match up. We have a saying, words and actions, and they match up every day. And if you can do that, you build trust. And so that was probably not the most difficult thing, but the thing that I was most excited about. Yes,
Morning, Herm. Dan Greenspan with the Associated Press. How did you sort of balance bowl prep between player development with some of the younger guys and game planning for Fresno State?
Well, there's a few young players that will have the opportunity to play, and I think that's what's so unique about the bowl participation. You have some young players. Now, we don't have a roster full of guys at this point in time that we can develop. We're trying to do that through the recruiting process. But there will be some young guys that haven't played a lot of football that will get an opportunity to play in this game. And I think it's important because you're looking at next year as well. And you want to see them in live action all of a sudden. Some of these guys haven't played a whole lot. I think the 4-game rule has helped a lot of young players in college football now. You have the ability to play 4 games with players and still consider a redshirt year. So we've done that diligently wise and put some players in position where they'll have an opportunity to play. Some freshman guys actually have an opportunity to play in this game, which will help us evaluate.
You got a lot of contributions from freshmen, especially on defense.
Yeah, 5 of them.
Does the level of development physically and football knowledge of high school players, is it way beyond what you expected coming into the job?
Well, I think like anything else, like in professional football, by week 8 they hit the wall. I think in high school football as well, when they go from high school to college, and all of a sudden, competition is much steeper, and the players are better. You go from a 17, 18-year-old kid playing seniors in college football. There's a different development there. Now, talent-wise, I mean, talent is one thing, but as far as experience and how to take care of yourself and how you go through school all of a sudden and then go to practice, that weighs on young guys, and you can see that happen to a lot of our freshmen. You know, they were asked to play a lot, but no one anticipated they would play that much. We knew we'd have a young team. We had 5 freshmen starting on defense. Well, that's a load for young guys, and they handle pretty well, but it's tough.
Coach Craig Fouie, ABC in Phoenix, you talked Monday about the road trip coming up here on buses. How did it go? You got your milkshake, you got the burgers, how did it all go?
As long as I got my milkshake, we were good. I thought it was fun. I think the players had fun. Coaches, his team rode over on the bus as well. We're old school coaches. We figured that thing out and go on the bus. We're good. But we had a good time, you know, and I think it brings camaraderie with your football team. And that's not always being done anymore. You know, you get places pretty fast, but I just thought the bus ride was good, the hamburger was good, the milkshake was good, the ride was good. I think it was fitting that we drove over Pat Tillman Memorial Bridge. It was a solid moment on all those buses, you know. We know a lot about Pat Tillman. It was kind of unique to go across that bridge.
Mark Anderson with Spade Street Journal. This bowl is going to change in a couple of years. It could be a higher seeded Pac-10, well, I guess a higher seeded, maybe SEC, Big Ten, whatever. Do you think if that's the case, it would be less likely players will skip this game?
I don't know that. I think every player is unique. They have a right to make that decision. I think most head coaches realize that. I realized that when I was on television. This is still a business for a lot of these young players. They know that their life's work is still ahead of them. If they have an opportunity to play pro football, good for them. I say that as a former pro football player. I know how difficult it is to play on that stage. And I think as we see it now, you know, a lot of these guys opt to not play. Whatever bowl game it may be, I don't know. That's up to the player. I think that you have to have that conversation with players you know that will be drafted. I had that conversation with Nikhil long before this game even appeared. What we were going to do if we got in the bowl. So he made the right decision for him, and we understood that. He started with the AD and myself, and he's here. He's actually here. He'll be standing on the sideline with us, so he's part of our family.
Coach Willie Ramirez with the Las Vegas Associated Press. You're a coach that provides a lot of motivation and inspiration for your players. When you look back at your first season at ASU, what's been your motivation and inspiration that kept you motivated day in and day out?
My love affair with football. I've had a love affair with this game ever since I was able to play it. That never stopped. You know, once you put your feet on the grass as a player and you really understand what it takes to do this, you either really, really love it or you don't. I felt on the other side of the fence, I love it. And so it wasn't hard for me at all. I mean, I missed it when I was on television. I had opportunities to come back. It was never the right fit for me. This appeared it was the right fit. And I can't tell you how much I missed it in the fact that speaking to these guys, when I was going to talk to them the first time being their head coach, I was struggling what to say. It took me 2 days to figure it out. My wife probably hit me on my head. She said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Just be you, just go talk to them." And it worked out okay. But, you know, when you've been in football your whole life, and that's all I've ever done, as a young guy growing up, was able to achieve a scholarship and then go into pro football and stay there 30 years. You live in a bubble your whole life. You do as a football coach, as a football player. That's the world you live in. The outside world is out there, but it really doesn't affect you a whole lot because you're a part of a team, you're a part of a family. And every year there's a different journey, there's a different opportunity to achieve something as a team. That means something to me. That's important. You know, the relationships you make in football. As I said, I met Coach when he was a captain. I mean, Trent Dilfer was speaking today. We coached Trent at Tampa. I mean, all the relationships, these two young men up here, I'll have relationships with these two young guys the rest of my life. And so that's what football presents, you know, the life skills it teaches all of us. Without football, I'm not sitting here. Period. Football provided me a way to get an opportunity to get out of the situation that I grew up in. And I think we have to understand that. That's why I'm so passionate about the game. And I want it coached right and played right. Because it's important for the next generation that follows us. We are all ambassadors for this great game called football. And it's a wonderful game.